Hey, welcome to Triple Witching Hour and Pure Volatility Day. The market's about to open. It just opened. Actually heard Jim Cramer actually make sense for a while, which was it was actually interesting here because he was saying the exact same thing that I was saying. He was complaining about 0-day options, and that's what we have here. It's Triple Witching Hour. Everything expires. It's a regular expiration. And people are going nuts. Tesla had a recall. Tesla was down 21 bucks at one point. Now it's only down 9. QQQ was down $9. Now it's only down 3.5. And that is beautiful for people who own volatility. Look at this 510 straddle. That's $5 in premium that is gonna be gone. Well, $6 in premium minus like a quarter in parity. Do you want to bet that QQQ is going to be between 504 and 516 by the end of the day? I mean, stocks like to pin, so maybe it'll close at 510, but it's already traded as low as 504, and it was looking like it was going to be death. Tesla's falling again. The thing with Tesla is they had a recall, and everybody panicked, and it's going down again, it looks like. The thing about the Tesla recall was you don't even have to bring the cars into the shop. They have like a digital thing to fix it. But this is really risky when you have $6 in premium, and if QQQ does just sit here for the rest of the day, it's gone. And Jim Cramer was going nuts about 1-day premium, 0-day options. And things are going nuts. They're battling over shutting down the government. The Fed chairman went crazy. Everything was down. Like I said, QQQ is down 9. Tesla was down 21. It's just moved $7 in the past 15 minutes. It's dangerous, and Jim Cramer was talking about a gambling addiction, and that's what the purpose of this channel is, to tell you that these short-term options that people are telling you to do, it's gambling. If you want to do something more conservative with options, maybe, but look how much gamma these things have. The at the moneys have a gamma of 5. Now, if you were backspread these 1-day options yesterday when stock was 514 and it went all the way down to 504, and you woke up at 7 in the morning and you bought stock and then it popped up, you made a fortune if you were long these things and backspread them. But nobody's telling you to backspread options. Those are the way people trade them professionally. They hedge them. They're either backspread or they're short premium. They're short straddles. They hedge things. Nobody teaches you how to do that. We'll see. I mean, Tesla's a big part of the QQQ and the VOO. So I would recommend that you do some reading. There's Joe Strummer. Read about Triple Witching Hour. Read about what the VIX is. The VIX is the expected volatility for 30 days in the S&P 500 options. So the VIX right now is around 23, and it's not even working. Oh, it's down 20. No chart available. 5 days. Look what it's gone through in just 2 days with it was trading 16, and volatility popped with this Fed thing and the government shutdown. Now, personally, I believe they'll come to some kind of agreement. They always fight about these government shutdowns, and they always come to a last-minute thing to keep things going. But, if they don't, it could be more chaos. Here's some articles about zero-day options. Read about those. Do as much reading as you can. Do much learning. But today is going to be a day of pure volatility. Again, look at this. Close to $6 for the at the monies in this. Let's look at Tesla. I mean, the volatility for the options that are going to expire today have got to be insane. You want to be a maniac? Well, Tesla's down. You can sell the 450 calls for 70 cents. You want to do that? You'll probably make money. They have nothing but bad news, but who knows what's going to happen? They could come up with a government savior proposal where Trump gets his way. Everybody a week ago was saying the market was just going to keep on going up because Trump was president. Everything looked rosy. And then all it took was a fight in Congress and Jerome Powell being his usual wet rag. And it's a good thing. Check out the QQQ. Check out the at the monies in Tesla. The at the money is 422.5. That's $13 of pure premium. So if you sold that for one day, you know, it's got to be down $26 or unchanged for you to break even or start to lose money. But it's already had a range of down 21, down maybe 24, and back up to 7. And professionals who own these options, and they probably don't own these options because they're too expensive, but if they did, they're hedging it like every couple dollars or so, and they're buying it cheap if they're long them, and they're selling it high. That's the way people make money trading options professionally. You know, right now it looks like a QQQ is mellowed out, and it's just going to sit there and pin. But you've got how many hours left to go? It's only the market's only been open 7 minutes. You got 7 more hours. The government can come to an agreement. The government can be further away. Somebody could come up. Somebody else could announce bad earnings. Look, Tesla's just all over the place. It was down like 21, 24 at one point. It was only down 7 at one point. And look at these things here. And maybe I'll make an addendum to the end of the video and show you the end of the day. But right now, you can sell this straddle, and this straddle is rapidly decaying. $6. So that's 504, which it's already seen today on the downside break even, and 516. So it's a day of pure volatility. QQQ was down $9. It's only down 3 now. We'll take a look at the end of the day, and we'll see the close. We'll see if things pin. But that's $6 of pure premium, and you know, you could go like, oh look, it's coming back. The inflation number wasn't that bad. It's going to be up on the day. I'll just buy stock against my short straddle. Yeah, well, might work, might not. If you do, and then the government has a problem, if something else, and it's back down to 504, you're done. You're going to be bankrupt by the end of the day. So we're going to take this, and at the end of the day, we'll see where everything turned out. Look, Tesla's already moved $2, and you know, with the gamma being so high, if you are long these things and you have hedged them and you want to trade it every $2, just by the amount that the gamma moves your delta, that's, you know, every time you move $2, if you have a position, your delta is going to change, and when it goes down, you're going to get shorter and you buy the stock. If it comes right back up, you're back to where you were and you scalp it positively. And if you're short, it's the other way. So look, it was down $12. In 10 minutes, It's already moved $3. QQQ is roaring back. Uh, this is something for professionals, and that's exactly what Jim Cramer said about the people that think they can trade on Robinhood and make money and be trading these zero-day options. Do you want to sell these 5/16s for $1.05? They're $4 out of the money. There's only 7 more hours before it's going to work most of the time. When it doesn't work, you're going to be bankrupt. And he compared it to a gambling addiction. He compared it to sports gambling. He said it increased domestic violence. He also said he wants you to buy because he's the ultimate bull. The Dow is now up. Remember, QQQ was down $9. VOO was down 4.5. This is a pure volatility day, and you're playing Russian roulette, but we'll see where it is at the end of the day. Remember, the 510 straddle was about $6. Now it's about $3.90 plus $1.50, $4.90. It's already down. It's already down to $5.50, and it's coming back. And if they come up with an agreement in Congress and they keep the government running, we could have a big up day after the big down day. And whoever was back spread the December 20th at the monies, they made a fortune so far today. Look at the gamma here, like 666. 3 months out, it's a little bit different. The next regular expiration, look, the gamma is 1. All right, so these swings, and look at the premium on these. It's just outrageous, $26, and the theta is coming here. But volatility is a little bit high right now. You can't just short the VIX because it's not shortable. It'll probably go down when things mellow out. But right now it's craziness. QQQ has already had a range of down 9. Now it's only down 2.5. Tesla, look, it was just down 9. It's down another $3 in the last 6 minutes. It's all over the place, and professionals are trading back and forth with the computers and the algorithms. And that's exactly what Jim Cramer said. He said, you can't fight the professionals. They have algorithms. They have research teams. They have supercomputers. You and your small account are not going to be market rebelling like the Nigerian brothers say. But we'll stop this video now, and we'll see where things ended up. Right now, if you're short premium today in QQQ and everything else for one day, you should either buy it back or you're praying on your hands and knees that things don't go nuts. But anything can happen today. The government's in flux. People are nervous. Everything is very high. That's not a good time to be short options that expire in one day. So for once, Jim Cramer, the ultimate bull, the ultimate showdown, I agreed with him. And God bless him today. We'll see how he performs in the future. But we'll be back and we'll close this up at the end of the day. But read about the VIX, read about triple witching hour, read about expiration day. And like I said, things like to pin, but where are they going to pin? They like to close on round strikes. So maybe QQQ, maybe closes on the round strike of 510 and that's $6 in premium. Maybe it closes at 520. We don't know. All I know is that Tesla was down 21. It was down 7. Now it's down 13. It was just down 7. And if you own those options and you have them hedged, you're scalping the hell out of them. We'll see what happens at the end of the day. But it's pure volatility. It's no time to be short or even long for a retail investor, these zero-day options. Jim Cramer was absolutely right for once. We'll see you back later. Okay, look, we're only an hour into the trading day, and things are completely going crazy. The 510 straddle that seemed really expensive at $6 is now trading $7. QQQ, which was down to 504 at 7 o'clock when early morning trading started, is now up $2.30. It was down over 9 this morning. Tesla was down $21 on this recall, which seemed to be a BS recall because they can do it. It went from down 21 to down 7 to down 15. Now it's basically unchanged and the market is roaring. So do you really want to be short these short-term options? I mean, whoever was long these at the monies, and they're at the money now, well, no, the 513s, if they were long, if they were back spread them, they got to buy stock at 504 or all the way down and sell it all the way up. They're buying cheap and selling expensive. Things have totally turned around. They still don't have a decision on the what's going on with the government, but this is pure volatility, and again, it just shows that Jim Cramer was right. You don't want to mess with these gamma options. Look, these gamma at the money options are now close to 8, and they're just going to get higher and higher throughout the day. And look, if you had just sold that straddle and when it got to 513 bought stock and just gambled, but look, the 520 options are trading $1, close to $1. Could it go through 520 today? Who knows? It's been down to 504. It's had a range of $13 today. You can try to sell these for $1. Will it go over 520? Who knows? The 523s, the 530s, the 530s are trading 3 cents. The 526s are trading 13 cents. Do you really want to be short this? This market can go anywhere. QQQ has had a range of 504 to 517 and a half. It's roaring up. It was down 9. It's up 13. Tesla is now in the positive after being down 27, being down 7, being down 15. And professionals, remember, and we'll talk about this more when I discuss back spreading, they have these things hedged, and every time the stock goes up and moves, they're readjusting their position. They're scalping in positive directions. When it's down, they're buying it. When it's up, they're selling it. So if you were backspread Tesla, especially with 0 days left, is down $21 and you bought it and you were just long, the upside calls, look, now it's up on the day and you just scalp that and you still have a ton of volatility in Tesla. Tesla, which has had a range of $22 today, the at the monies, that straddle's still trading $9. And do you want to be short it? Look, $10 for the at the money straddle in Tesla. It's had a $21 range overnight, and it's only been an hour. These are too risky for you to trade. We'll be back at the end of the day. Okay, the market has now been open for less than 2 hours, and it's like a raging bull day. Tesla, which was down 21 bucks, then was down 7, then was down 15, is now up 4 after news of the recall. QQQ, which was down to 504, is now over 520. I think at the beginning of this video you can see that these 519s were trading like 38 cents on the opening. And if you sold those and thought you were just going to make a 338 cents, they're trading 250 now. The 520 straddle, whereas the 510 straddle at the beginning of the day was trading $6, this is only trading like $3.50. which actually seems too cheap to me right now. I mean, we're talking about the at the money when it was 510 was close to 6, and now the at the money where it's had a range of $15 after the 2 hours is only $3. So you can see how dangerous these 0 day options are and how crazy things are. Let's see where like Tesla volatility, where Tesla's had a $26 range, and professional traders who have backspread this keep buying it low and selling it high. I'll make a video on backspreading. It's actually up $5. It was down 21 earlier in the day. Let's see where that at the money volatility is. And you can see the average implied volatility is 119. It's trading 440. So it's still got $10 in premium, close to $10 in premium, and more like 9 for the 440 strike. So will Tesla sit at 440 for the rest of the day? Probably not. We've still got the Congress shenanigans about the budget and keeping the government afloat. That could turn this all around. I don't know if this was all turned around by the inflation number that was kind of mild, but look at QQQ. It's had a range of $15 today, and the at the money straddle on the opening was $6. So if you were backspread that and you got to buy it at 504, and now you're like keep trading it and keep selling it, if you're short this thing and you just think, oh, there's only one more day left, it can't move $6. It's already moved 8 since I began this video, and you already lost $2 and you're in trouble and you're heading to thing. So these short-term propositions, again, it's just chaos. Beware of it, and we'll see where I'll come back at the end of the day and we'll see where everything ends up. There was a trader named Van, and he's like, all I know is these numbers aren't going to be the same as they are now every time. But he was talking about events, and there's not event. It's just general market volatility where things are just, people are crazed. People don't know whether to buy or sell. Everybody was talking about it's over. The market is overpriced. The Fed is down. The government's in chaos. Trump has lost control. And the Qs have rebounded by $15. VOO has rebounded by $10. It's just a crazy day, and it's not a day to be short. 0 day options. And Jim Cramer actually, right before the open, he made that eloquent. So you people with your Robinhood accounts that think you're going to outbattle the professionals, you got another thing coming. Hey, you're just going to sell some premium in the market, and you're going to do it 1 hour a day, and you're going to make money with your retirement savings. You're just going to leave and never pay attention to it till the next day. Look at the VIX. It crashed. Everything's all right. The volatility's gone. Nope. Let's look at the market. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla had quite a day today. Look, it's trading 420, and the 427 calls are still, it's gone. But in the last half hour, Tesla went from being unchanged to down $16. VOO was down $9. It was up $10, back down to $6. So forget those dreams. Premium sellers got crushed today, especially short-term 0 day options premium sellers. You can't just put these on and just ignore them for 1 day. Forget that dream. And Tesla, look at this. It's like right around 420. What do you do with your 420 calls and puts? You got a half hour. It's down $17 in the last half hour. Where's it going to be? Where's anything going to be? There's still a half hour before these options close. But if you remember at the beginning of the day, the QQQ 510 Strata was trading for like around $6. That's a lot of premium. That was a horrible sale. This thing, like I said, it traded down to 504 in the opening. It was up $10 at one point today. VOO was down $4. It's up 7.5 now. And we still don't know what's going on with the Congress, whether they're going to get a budget done. They're probably going to get a budget done, but who knows what form it's going to take. They seem to always argue about it until the last second. So, look, what are you going to do with these 420 Tesla calls? Tesla was down $21 at 7 a.m. this morning. All you iron condor straddlers. Then it was only down like 7. Then it was down 15 again. Then it, after the inflation number came out and like somebody in Illinois from the Fed said something positive, it was actually up like $7. And again, in the last half hour at 3:30. And I don't drink, but if this is a day that makes you drink. I drink about a half a Rolling Rock every once in a while. That was how I dealt with peer pressure for drinking. But it did make me smoke. And on days like this, there was a lot of money to be made in markets standing in a pit. But I would get a full box of orange Tic Tacs, chew them all in about 30 seconds, and then I would chew on the box. That's how stressful days like this. Some days are boring as hell. And that's why I compared it to war. Look, these have 0 days to go. The 422 calls, they closed 21 cents at 50 cents, or that's where they are. That's where they closed. Do you exercise them? You got to wait until 429, and then you got to deal with stock. So if you're short these calls, I mean, look, the 420s, are they going out worthless? According to the official close, automatic exercise, you got to like make a phone call to your broker. It's just insanity. Insanity. Look at QQQ, right around 520. Is it going to maintain 520 for the next half hour? Oh, look, the calls were in automatic exercise a while ago. Now it looks like the puts. Who knows? It's another half hour of stress. Again, this thing had a $20 range today. It was down 9. It was up over 10. On the opening, you could have bought the 19 levels for like 38 cents. You could have bought the 520s for... You could have sold them. You could have sold the 520s for 18 cents, and like that's like a $10 move, and you're like, oh my God. I mean, I guess after the inflation number came out, you could have just gotten long, except that would have been a disaster in Tesla unless you sold it when it was up 7. But, you know, if you were short these 520 calls, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to buy stock on the way up? Are you going to buy them back? Are you going to pray? QQQ is trading as high as 524. So if you thought that you were going to sell these things for 18 cents 100 times, and that's 1,800 free dollars, at one point they were trading, and they're out of the money now, the 520s. You can pray, you can buy stock, but at one point they were worth $4. So to make $18, that's 5,000. That's 10,000 shares of stock. That's a $40,000 loss. And if you hedged it with stock, that's even more because it's been back and forth, and it's still trading like a mad dog. Depending, you know, if the Congress makes an announcement, right now, this thing can be up $4 or $5 right now. Tesla is still moving. Are the 419 puts in exercise? Uh, right now, if you own the 420s, then you would exercise the puts and buy stock. Um, or you can just hold on till 4:30 and see what happens. But not a good day for trading. And as Jim Cramer said, these 0-day options are insanity. The only people that made money today are the people that got long, the people who were back spread. Um, if you were short upside and you just hedged it and the volatility came in, maybe you did very well. But with this being short anything out, even though the VIX fell like $5, you just got crushed with anything if you were trying to hedge it. So forget those dreams of just doing it for a half hour a day, an hour a day, and going off and going to the gym, going to the rec center. The people that trade these things are professionals, like Jim Cramer said. It's gambling. It's an addiction. It's not a video game. He even said that it probably caused domestic abuse. I heard people on CNBC talking about the liquor industry going down because people were spending too much money gambling on football and in the stock market and losing money, and they were doing too much marijuana. So, as Ali G said, don't buy high, don't sell high. Don't do drugs. Don't be drinking until after the close, or if you've got a relatively tame position. So I have a relatively tame position. It's just an example. I wouldn't have all my money in one position. I'd have it in something diversified. But look at QQQ and VOO. QQQ down 9, up 10, up 5 now. What are you going to do with these 520s? You got to stare at the screen for the next half hour. The people that are back spread, man, QQQ, if you had a lot of long options that were expiring today, you made a fortune. And is that you? I doubt it. The only people that made money was the people that jumped onto the Fed announcement and the inflation number. There wasn't a Fed announcement. There was a whisper by somebody in Illinois. But Tesla was unchanged at 3:30. Down 21, down 7, down 15, up 7, unchanged, down 16. What is the 420 straddle worth for the next 20 minutes? It could be worth like $8. And, Leon the Magnificent, my mentor, who we'll talk about in detail later and we'll tell stories, if his option's absolutely pinned in a stock, and stocks do tend to pin, none of them here appear to be pinning, except PayPal, which is pinning on the 87 level, but I don't have any risk. He would, if he had long a straddle, he would exercise both the call and the put just to cause chaos. And many a time spread was put on where it pinned right at the exact same place, and people forgot to take it off the short side, and they got assigned on one side or the other, and it went against them, and they turned a huge winner into a huge loser. So drink them if you got them. The dream of trading for an hour a day, it's nonsense. I don't know if it causes domestic abuse, but Jim Cramer was actually right today. And read my article about iron condors, because, man, if you got an iron condor, it's exactly what I said. It's like a bee buzzing in a hive. You go to the back's loss on the downside, you can't do anything, or maybe you do something, but then you get crushed. You go to the back's loss on the upside. Maybe if you just sleep through it, you made money. Not in Tesla. But that's not the way the market works. These people are lying to you. Come to this channel for the truth. Look at these Tesla, these options. The 430s are still in play. Who knows what's going to happen? It was unchanged at 330. It was up 7. It was down 21. Back and forth, and that's how professionals who are backspread, and we'll talk about backspread, they scalp stock back and forth, they buy it low, they sell it high, they're always delta neutral, and they make money. And, you know, if you were short DJT volatility and you did absolutely nothing, I guess you did okay. PayPal's only up 37 cents, and I made money from the volatility coming in. But you got to stare at the screen all day, and it's going to like make you smoke, which is what happened to me. Be careful out there. Don't abuse your wife because you lost all your money. Don't put yourself in positions where you lose your money. Don't be in cases where you have massive gamma on really volatile days with 0 days. Jim Cramer was actually right. He said some crazy things in the past, but he was absolutely right today.